In this episode, I only have one question. What the happened? Hello, fellow dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to my side of the laundry room. My name's Rob, and in this episode, I need to explain some things, and like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck happened. So, this episode isn't a toy side chat or a news or notes. Like I said, it's just to explain, because some things have changed on the fly, and I would like to explain them, and what happened kind of has a slight ripple effect on the channel for the next couple weeks. I know, kind of silly, but I just feel like I need to explain this stuff, and by the way, I like talking to you all. Anyway, what better place to start than at the beginning of the story? So, yeah, a couple weeks ago, I shot the November episode of Plastic Ghosts, and it was on 80s robot toys. Forgotten ones, of course. I shot the episode, and yeah, somewhere along the line, I turned off the camera at like the halfway point of the episode, tended to some laundry over here, came back, turned the camera on, and proceeded to do the rest of the episode. As the episode was going on, and as I was filming it, I was noticing the battery life was getting very, very low. So I finished up the episode, and I think, just not thinking, I just popped the battery out, and I didn't end the video. So that portion of the video didn't render on the camera. So it was a corrupted file, for lack of a better term. So I discovered that when I went to edit, and I edited the first half of the video, and it was good. I mean, it was a pretty good episode, focused on some great forgotten 80s robots, and I planned on the next night doing the second portion of it, and I did. And that went really well, and took that to the computer to edit, and at that time I was pretty far ahead on episodes, so I had some time to sit down and play around with the editing process. And when I say play around with, I mean I didn't do anything out of the ordinary. I just had time to add some gags in, because I was in different clothes for the second portion, and took time to explain what happened with the editing, or with the filming and editing, and like I said, had some gags in there and added some jokes, and went back and did some other little flares and stuff for fun. And at the end of it, I was very proud of the episode. Long story short, I hit it to render and walked away from it. Came back to it the next morning, uploaded it to YouTube, and a story that I thought. Well, the one thing about when you upload things to YouTube, they give you 3 pictures at the bottom that you can use as thumbnails. They just take grabs from your video. And that's cool and all, but I usually just make my own thumbnails. Anyway, I was looking at those pictures, and they looked off. Really off. In the one picture that really caught my eye, there was like a mass behind me. Looked really weird. So I watched the video, and what I saw was some of the weirdest stuff I've ever seen in a video. Most of the time, not like for this, but most of the time I shoot with a green screen, so I can drop pictures in and out and do stuff like that. So it was like the green screen was there, the background that I usually use wasn't, the pictures were like layering on top of each other. The mass that I saw was my hands, as I talk with my hands, it was like tracking them and saving them to the image, so it looked really odd. So I played with it then the following weekend and did a lot of other little things I could to it to try to clean it up. And, you know, I shot a couple episodes in between, edited those, and those turned out fine. But when I went to render that one again, the exact same issues popped up. So that leaves us to now. I spent all last night, I just deleted everything except the actual filmed files, put those back up off the camera. I grabbed new pictures, I grabbed new videos, because there were actually commercials for some of these forgotten toys that I was really excited to find and wanted to include in the video. Grabbed all new resources and just started from scratch with this big editing project, because I wanted to include those gags because they really worked. They fit because of the discrepancy in the 2 days of filming, and I rebuilt this entire video in one night, put a lot of hard work into it, because like I said, I just was really proud of it and I wanted to recreate that video to the best of my ability. So long story short, I rendered it, and there's a little preview window of the rendering as it's going on. I walk away for a little bit, I come back, and I can see those exact same issues in the rendering window. So I go back into the editing program, take a lot of the flare out that I said, you know, without it affecting the timeline. I just removed, you know, music cues and little meme type things that would pop up and all that stuff. Removed it all, rendered it again, and same thing. So here we are without a Plastic Ghosts episode for this month. Not a big deal, didn't really need explaining, but the reason I need to explain it is in that episode, because I came up with the idea of it on the fly, I was going to do a follow-up show of hunting for those forgotten toys. I thought that's the logical next step, because I want to see, because I'm very curious, where these toys fall in the world of collecting. So I thought, let's jump on eBay and see if people remember these toys, if they're selling them, and how much they're going for. And I had a lot of fun with that portion of the video. So the explanation is, tomorrow's video will be the hunting portion of an episode that isn't going to be airing. So I know it's kind of weird, but I mean, I kind of talk about some of the things that I covered in the episode in the hunting episode. So some of that is still in there. And of course I'll be referencing an episode that is lost to time now, because I just deleted it. I'm so frustrated and angry with it, it's gone. It's gone. So I'm leaving the hunting episode because in essence it's still talking about these forgotten toys. I can put that episode behind me and move on to more Plastic Ghost episodes for the future, and yeah, just be done with it, because so frustrating, so frustrating. And like I mentioned, this effect kind of has a ripple effect on some of the upcoming weeks, because at one time I was pretty far ahead, but some of those extra episodes that I had, I burned off last week because I was having all these issues and I didn't have episodes for the week, so I just shoved all those episodes into 1 week. And when I started this week, I don't have anything. So I wasted a night last night with doing all the editing and crap for nothing. Now I'm left with tonight, and hopefully I'll be able to get some content out there for you guys. And yeah, this is just a little bonus episode. I'm not adding this to my schedule count at all, because I wanted to explain this stuff, but I didn't want to cheat and use this as a, normal scheduled episode. I know, silly rules that I impose on myself. Anyway, yeah, I have no idea what the heck happened. I have this funny notion, and mind you, this is just for comedic sake, that this series is cursed. It's like the equivalent of Poltergeist, back in the 80s. All that funky stuff happened to the people in that movie, and I feel like Plastic Ghosts has this funky aura to it where things just mess up. Example being, when I did the first episode, it was just Forgotten Fantasy toys, and didn't have any problems at all. The next episode, I added the title Plastic Ghosts, and I had sound issues. This episode, again, Plastic Ghosts, and I go through all these issues. And mind you, I've edited stuff after this video, that video, and they were perfectly fine. Edited things before it and after it, and they were perfectly fine. But the Plastic Ghosts episode, I don't know. So, these forgotten toys want to stay forgotten for some reason. But anyway, like I said, I'm posting the hunting video, so you get to still see what these forgotten toys are, where their places in the world, the online world, and yeah, putting it behind me and moving forward. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of playing catch up this month, and I don't have any episodes in reserve, unfortunately, so I'm going to try my best to keep up, with the holidays and all. So if I do miss anything, I apologize, and let's just go forward and enjoy the holiday season, and I'll see you in the next one. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this weird explanation, or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad, and stay dorky!